We need to be able to get into other churches. We need to be able to duplicate ourselves. I envisioned when I started this that we would have multiple churches. It was never my intent to be funded by secular organizations. I was naive enough to believe that because of the call of Christ on the church, that they would have seen us and said, okay, we don't want to do this, but because there's an organization doing it, we can line up behind it. Kind of like that Verizon telephone commercial where the guy says, I told you to come by yourself, and then, well, who are all these people? We envision having this great network of churches one day that will say, if they're bold enough to get out in front and do the work, then let us throw our resources behind them and really make a difference. Every major movement in our community has always come through the church. And so I really believe that if we could duplicate ourselves, that we could make a difference in what we're doing in this community. And it would not just be minor and small successes, but we begin to see success on a large scale. So I'm going to work for that as long as we can. It's been very difficult getting into the churches. But 1 or 2 churches have opened their door. Matter of fact, tomorrow the AME Church is having something called a Tawala program for youth, and it's going to be at Wilberforce, and they've called and asked me to come and talk to their missionary ladies. So I'm hoping there'll be somebody there that if we just touch one person, that they will be motivated to go to their church. If we could get first ladies, I was a first lady that accomplished this because I had the pastor's ear. If we could get more first ladies to be involved, because they have the pastor's ear, and they are a trendsetter for the women in the church, because all of the problems are not outside of the church. Many of our women in the church are, a lot of that crying and shouting we see on Sunday is out of total frustration. So we got to begin to meet them and get to the heart of what our people really need. So I think the first ladies in the church could do a tremendous job. I have not aggressively pursued it. I think when we began to do the testing and just trying to keep the finances of the organization, we tackled those things that we could and did those the best we could. But I do think that's an area that's untouched territory. It's like virgin territory that just hasn't been touched in this area.